Samantha Francis, Sam, welcome to Perfect Health on Elastic FM with Elaine Godley. Thank you for spending time with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, Elaine.
And you're in sunny London, I'm in sunny Nottingham at the moment. You're a holistic therapist, and you've got into being not a hypnotherapist, a holistic therapist through your own story, which we'll come on to in a minute.
Yes.
So working backwards, what sort of therapies do you help people with at the moment?
So the main therapy that people seem very drawn to me to help them with is through energy healing. I am a Reiki master teacher as well, and I work with a lot of clients on an energy level. I also do crystal healing, Indian head massage, touch therapies, but I find the main therapy that people come to is for energy healing.
Okay, so energy healing, what is that to the skeptics listening to the show?
So energy healing is basically, simplifying it, it's using universal energy to either place your hands on or off a client to help the energies within that person to flow through and assist the body with its natural, to realign to its natural state. So essentially the body always knows what to do, but sometimes it can get quite blocked because of issues that we may be facing on a day-to-day basis. So what the energy does is it gives the body that kind of jolt to say, hey, you're here still, you know what to do, let's get on with it. And it's very unique to each client. You know, one session will be different to another. It's very peaceful therapy. It's something that people find very, very relaxing. Often clients fall asleep in their sessions with me as well, which is always nice to see because it shows they're going into a deep state of relaxation. And again, that enables the body to do what it needs to do as well.
Sleep is a great energy booster, isn't it? People underestimate the level of sleep that we actually do need. I know it's different for everybody, but sleep is a particularly good, easy thing to do. Well, for most people anyway.
Yes.
You mentioned universal energy. What do you mean by universal energy?
It's basically using from our perspective, it's everything is energy. And it's using the energy that's around us, the energy that we are a channel. So we flow through, the energy flows through us and into the client to assist the body's healing capacity and to assist the client in their own individual way. Universal energy, I guess it's kind of your own take on it. From a Reiki perspective, it is basically the energy that we live in, the world, you know, really good positive energy from source, whether it's God, the universe, whatever way you want to put it. But it's basically taking the energy that's around us that we're interacting with on an everyday basis and kind of channeling it to do good for the body.
Brilliant. Okay, and what sort of things do clients come to you with? What sort of ailments and conditions?
Oh gosh, it could be anything. It can be anything from insomnia to fertility issues to trauma, physical ailments such as backache, knee ache. It could vary from anything from a psychological place to a physical place as well. Anything from digestive problems, reproduction, you name it.
Wow, goodness me. So there's no sort of pattern, there's no specific niche that you help with?
No.
You can just basically, if you've got a pulse, go and see Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how did you get into this line of work? What's your story behind? Because every therapist I've met has a story. So what's your story, Sam?
So basically, if we go back around 11, 12 years ago, when I was in a very, very bad place in my life, I was in a very abusive relationship. I had a child from that relationship. And what unfolded from that was from her birth, is I was left with really, really bad injuries. I had kind of lost the use of the left side of my body following a very traumatic delivery. My hip area was broken. I was in pain just walking around. I had to use crutches to walk properly. I was severely depressed as a result of that. And I just felt very, very internally broken at that point, as well as physically broken also. I'd gone to doctors that were, you know, happy to give me pain medication to help me get on with my day-to-day life and to care for my daughter. But for me, I just kind of felt like I was going in circles with it. I just thought, okay, I can take medicine, it'll get rid of the pain, but the fact is something is wrong. So I was referred to physio. You know, I went there for a good couple of years, to the point where the physios were scratching their heads saying, we don't understand why you're still in pain, but you do seem quite damaged, and it is likely that whatever that injury is that you've sustained is only going to get worse.
This was the injuries from childbirth.
Yes. Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yeah. It was really, really a bad time for me. And I think it got to the point where I was at that place where, you know, these people that I was reaching out to didn't have the answers for me. And I just thought, no, there has to be more than that. Like, I'm not going to be okay to just be sat here in pain or not being able to walk properly or do things with my daughter and just accept that that's it. I just thought, no, there's so much more to life. This is not okay. And so I started researching on the internet other kind of therapies or avenues that I could go through. A lot of them were going down the avenues of surgery and things like that, but something kept always saying to me, you know, there is another way. So it was a conversation with a friend of mine that said to me, you know, have you ever tried any kind of alternative therapies? And I said, no. You know, at that point in my life, I hadn't even considered anything on that level. So I thought, okay, look, I've tried everything else. Let me give it a go. I went for acupuncture. I didn't feel that was the right therapy for me. So I had a course of that. It didn't really make a big difference for me. And then another friend mentioned Reiki. And she said, have you tried this? Have you heard about this? And I said, I've kind of heard about it in the past, but dismissed it. You know, I don't really get all this energy stuff. And to be honest with you, like, really, what can it do? And she said, try it, because, you know, you're doing everything else. Nothing seems to be helping you and you're still in pain. So I went for my first session with Reiki. And I came out of that session, I'll never forget it, just thinking, wow. I came out of the session, it was only 15 minutes, and I felt lighter. I felt that the heaviness that I'd gone to the session with had gone and lifted. I got off, I remember getting off the couch and thinking, my hip area feels so much different. It just feels really, really different. Like there wasn't that heaviness there either. And I don't actually remember feeling in pain when I got off.
Did you say 15 minutes?
50, like almost an hour, yes. Yeah. Right, okay. And I started walking around and I thought, I feel okay. Like, what has happened here? Now, bear in mind, I'd gone in very, very skeptical, kind of thinking, look, fine, let me just try this, you know. And I said to the lady that did the therapy, I said, what did you do? Because I was feeling awful before I came to this session. And now I feel like I just feel free. I feel so much lighter. And she said, well, that's the point. You're supposed to feel like that at the end of a session. I thought, this is interesting. So I went away and I thought, I need to look into this now, because this is some kind of magic that's going on. And I just felt on such a high level of energy and excitement and happiness. And I thought, right, let me look into this. Let me go and kind of experiment on myself a bit more. And then I want to learn more about what this practice actually is, which is what I did. So I went down an avenue of having more sessions. And in those sessions, I was noticing each session was different for me. And I was feeling different at each session. But every time I was having a session, I felt better in some way or form. And then I decided, right, okay, this stuff works, and I have to tell other people about it. I have to get other people to recognize this stuff. So I went on to train, and I got my Reiki level 1, and I then quickly moved on to my level 2. And during that process, I have to tell you, and for me, I'm going to use the word miracle, because that's how, you know, if I weigh up like how bad I was before I went down that pathway to where I felt and how I felt at the end of my level 2, I had eradicated the pain in my mobility. I was able to walk freely. My hips were no longer a problem. I'd managed the use of my left side of my body. I felt normal again. And I thought, I have to go, like, the others need to know, okay? So I went and I did that, and I became a Reiki practitioner. And I started practicing on family and friends, and I got really, really good feedback from that. I then thought, right, I need to teach this now as well. See, I'm very kind of like, I like to go up and up and up and up, you know, and go as far as you can go with things. And I went on to get my master's and my teacher's level with it, and I started teaching it. And I have had so much positive feedback, and so many people come back and say, you know, I can now sleep a full night's sleep, you know, or I can turn my neck now, whereas, you know, I was about to go and have surgery for that, and I can move and I'm actually living. You know, that for me is just amazing. I mean, take away the physical side of it, let's go with the psychological side of it for me on my journey as well. You're looking at somebody that was severely depressed. I was on antidepressants. Take me back 10, 11 years ago. I felt like I had no hope. I had no confidence. My life was a complete mess. And going on this journey, for me, I always tell clients, it's not just about, you know, the physical sides of it. It's about your mindset and how important that is as well. And how much, you know, that when you relax the body, it not only does its thing on a physical level for you in regards to physical ailments, but your mind. It really helps to center your mind, because I solely believe that your body is a reflection of your mind as well, okay? So simultaneously, what was happening on my journey was that everything for me was becoming much more aligned. I managed to pull away from a really destructive relationship. I faced many more battles after that, but I felt in control. I felt like I could do it. I felt like I had that strength and that confidence and that power within me to get through life. Whereas before, I just felt a complete and utter mess. And it's given me that extra drive and that extra ambition and that extra passion to let people know that, you know, you don't just have to be existing. You can live a life, and you can live a life that actually feels comfortable, if not more, for you. You don't just have to settle for second best. And it's just transformed me, and it's really exciting to see how the therapies that I do has transformed other people as well.
It's a lovely feeling, isn't it, when you can see the growth in a person and know that you've had a part in it, which is fabulous. And you're very, very passionate. I can obviously see this will go out on the radio, and see how passionate you are and how animated you are when you're talking about it, which is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. So you're also a children's author, I understand. Tell me about that.
So my eldest daughter, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder at the age of 3, and I'd always felt very guilty about that. Obviously, with this situation, you know, coming from an abusive relationship, it had its impact on both of us. So what I would do is I would write, and it was very cathartic for me. It was, you know, it was a therapy within itself, just writing poetry coming straight from my heart onto paper, because at that time when I was feeling very, very depressed, I felt like I couldn't express myself to her. Like I said, I had postnatal depression for 3 years, and I felt like I was there, but I didn't feel connected to her. So I would write a lot of things, you know, down. And I wrote a poem, and it kind of reflected her pain. Like, it was just, I just wanted her to know that I saw her, I felt her. And though I may not have said anything to her, I recognized what was happening with her. And it was called What About Me? And I wrote that poem when I had my second child. And I remember writing it down and saying, right, one day I'm going to get this published for her. I don't care if it sells or does anything. I'm just going to do this for her. So just to dedicate it to her and let her know that, Mummy heard you, I saw you, I felt you, I never stopped loving you, you know, even though I couldn't connect in with that at that point and describe it to you. So I wrote it, and I sat on it for years, didn't do anything about it. And a friend of mine came across it and read it, and he was just like, why are you not doing anything with this? And I said, I don't know. And he said, do you not understand like how touching this story is? Like, if you could put it in a story, you could actually help other people that possibly are going through the same thing, you know. And my daughter was seeing some play therapists at the time as well, and she'd actually brought this poem in quite proudly to read to them as well, and they were very kind of like, wow, you know, you really kind of tapped into her feelings there, you know. And I thought, I wonder if this is another prompt to do something about it. So I did. I took the advice that I was given and I turned it into a book, which is conveniently called What About Me? And I self-published and I put it out there, and I was really surprised by the feedback that I got on it. A lot of parents came back saying that they cried when they read the book, and you know, it seems to tap into to parents that were going through similar situations and their children. From that, I then created another poem for my second daughter called Big Big World. And Big Big World is based on her anxiety and feeling very small and very different in what feels like a massive world, and just feeling like you're not really kind of fitting in. She's got a very different personality to my other daughter. So I wanted a book that kind of reflected her journey as well, and how it's affected us as a family. And so I created that book for her. Again, I self-published it, and I'm looking to hopefully do a series of books that focus on childhood issues, but from the perspective of the child. So each book is very holistic in itself, because it is a reflection of me. And I include in the book a gratitude page. I include affirmations that the child can use. I include suggested activities for play and bonding activities, and a nice little part at the back that has about notes and thoughts and feelings, where the child or the parent can just kind of write down what they're feeling from reading the book, and just kind of getting it from heart to paper, which is basically where I started off. So yeah, those are the books that I've done so far. We were recently featured on the Channel 4 News.
Wow.
Just I think it was a couple of days ago, and we were discussing the lack of ethnic diversity in books. And so yeah, my book, The Big Big World, was featured on that as well briefly. But I just think it's really important to connect with people from a young age and take care of their mental health from then as well. So I'm on a bit of a mission with that too.
Brilliant, excellent. And what greater role model than you for your daughters? How old are they now?
My oldest is 11 and my youngest is 6.
Okay, and where do people go to get hold of the books?
They can go to Amazon to purchase them, or I have a Facebook page called What About Me series, which they can like and purchase through there.
Brilliant. Okay, that's fabulous. And in terms of your Reiki skills, how do people contact you for that?
So again, they can go through Facebook. My Reiki business is Soul Holistics, or they can go through or contact me via my website, soulholistics.org.uk.
Soul Holistics, that's SOUL presumably.
Yes.
Soulholistics.org.uk.
Yes.
Fabulous. So thank you for sharing your story with us, or part of it, Sam. You've got 2 song choices. The first is Sia and Unstoppable. So tell me why you chose that song.
I love that song, and I love it because I play it every morning, and I play it so both me and my children and myself, we can listen to it and really kind of feel the energy and get that confirmation. It's like an affirmation. I am unstoppable. I can do anything I want. Nothing can block me. Nothing can stop me. I am powerful. It's a reminder of how amazing and powerful and wonderful you are. And I think it's a wonderful way to start off the day.
Brilliant. Excellent. And your other one, I've not heard of this person, Kylie Jepsen. And the song choice is Cut to the Feeling.
Well, I didn't hear about that song actually until I watched a Disney movie that my girls were watching actually, and I heard the song and I thought, oh, I really like the energy in that song. And what that song makes me feel like when I listen to it is, it's so true. It's about the feeling, about everything. It's about how you feel, how it affects your body, how it affects your mind state, and how you can enjoy life. And it's just got a really kind of high vibe, bouncy, happy-go-lucky energy to the song, which again is another song that I like to play in the morning to really kind of raise our energy, raise our vibration, and start the day in a really positive way.
Great idea to play a song, an uplifting song first thing in the morning. Haven't thought about that. Genius.
Yeah, it's really good. Try it.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much, Sam, for spending time with us this afternoon. And
Thank you
for coming up now.